From Western New York, a playoff buzz is in the air as the Sabres have clinched a playoff spot for the first time in 15 years. Welcome to Buffalo as we bring you a crucial night of NHL action from KeyBank Center here in Western New York on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel as the Columbus Blue Jackets come to town for a date with the Buffalo Sabres. That means plenty, especially for these visiting Jackets. Hello again, everybody. My name is Jaric Rubel. So happy you're with me here on the final Thursday night of the Eastern Conference side of the regular season, as the urgency here is undeniable for the Columbus Blue Jackets. With just a handful of games remaining, the Jackets find themselves on the edge of a playoff berth. They're chasing both the Metropolitan third spot and the final wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, sitting just a couple points back of both Philadelphia and Ottawa, who are at 92 points. Columbus here sits at 90, and every single game from here on out is essentially do or die for Rick Bowness's crew. And their last outing, it's exactly what they ended up needing. It was a dramatic victory against the Detroit Red Wings. It ended up a shootout victory for Columbus. It was a game in which they showed resilience, battling back not once but twice to even the score and keep their hopes alive. And then they ended up getting it done in the shootout, courtesy Zach Werenski. And Adam Fantilli tied that game for Columbus with 17 seconds remaining to force that extra frame. Jet Greaves in net came up clutch, shutting the door when the pressure was at its highest. And Zach Werenski, the heart of it all, he got the game winner in the shootout. He skated a career high, or season high, I should say, 33-26 time on ice, and got a goal in the second period. And it's been that kind of year for Werenski, who continues to put up elite numbers from the back end. Now the challenge shifts to Buffalo, and it doesn't get much easier. The Sabres, on the other hand, are already playoff bound. Congratulations to them and their fans, but they're far from satisfied as they enter tonight sitting atop the Atlantic Division with 104 points, locked in a tight race for first place, with the other teams like Tampa Bay and Montreal right on their heels with 102 points. And those two other teams are going head to head tonight in Montreal against one another in a very big game between those two. For this Sabre group, though, it's all about maintaining momentum and securing the best possible positioning heading into the postseason. They're coming off an impressive win against the New York Rangers last night, winning 5-3, rallying in the third period to take control of the game. Alex Tuck led the charge offensively, while Jason Zucker and Zach Benson also contributed in a strong team effort. And as if this division race is to stay tight, Buffalo knows there's no room to let up. And not now, not with the playoffs just around the corner. It's get-right games for all these final three remaining for the Sabres. They got Chicago on Monday and Dallas on Wednesday, and then the real thing will kick off on Saturday. Whether it'll be in Buffalo or on the road remains to be seen. But this division race in the Atlantic is as tight as ever. Columbus on the other side trying to find their way in. If Philly loses in regulation tonight and they win this game here in Buffalo, they will be back into third in the Metropolitan Division. So it's the third and final meeting between these two teams this regular season. Columbus has had success in this matchup so far, winning both previous meetings, both coming before the coaching change here in Columbus. And forward Miles Wood, he's a Buffalo native. These games always carry a little extra meaning for him, and he's delivered against his hometown team here as he leads Columbus with 2 goals versus this Sabres club this season. So tonight, desperation versus positioning. The Blue Jackets fighting to keep their season alive, and the Sabres looking to hold their ground atop the Atlantic Division. Columbus and Buffalo coming up next. Starting goaltenders, and of course the drop of the puck is just moments away. You're listening to NHL Hockey with Jaric Rubel live on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. Welcome back into Buffalo, where we're set to begin tonight's game between the Sabres and the Columbus Blue Jackets, live right here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. My name's Jaric Rubel. Hope you all are doing well on this Thursday night. Let's take a look at tonight's goaltending matchup. And in goal for the Columbus Blue Jackets is Jet Greaves. He's found his swagger under Rick Bowness on the year. He's 25, 16, and 9, a 2.58 goals against average and a 910 save percentage. And overall in his career against these Buffalo Sabres, he's 3-0-0 with a 1.97 goals against and a 946 save percentage. He's only given up 6 goals on 112 shots. He'll be opposed at the other end by Colton Ellis as the rookie gets his 15th appearance of the year. He's 7-4-1 in his previous 12 starts. He came in for relief earlier in the season as well. Didn't get credited with a decision in that game. 3.13 goals against average and an 895 save percentage for the kid as he is in between the pipes, as Alex Lyon still not able to go after being day-to-day with an injury. So again, in the standings, a win for Buffalo keeps them in first place. A regulation win for Columbus ends up getting them at the moment into third place in the Pacific Division, but the Philadelphia Flyers as well, if they're able to win against the Detroit Red Wings, will hold that third spot in the Metropolitan Division, or if they just get a point as well, as we're still 90 seconds away here from puck drop in Buffalo, as I forget they do the Canadian national anthem as well in this building, even though they are based in the United States, being right on the border. They have plenty of fans from both sides. So look here at the upcoming schedule before we drop the puck. If you're new here, be sure to hit subscribe and turn the bell notifications on so you know when we go live. As on Saturday, it's going to be a fun one. The Golden Knights and Avalanche in prime time, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific time, as the Avalanche will be wearing their Quebec Nordiques jerseys for the final time this year in celebration of 30 years in Colorado since leaving Quebec. So they're honoring the team that way. And the Golden Knights will be in town as they've started to play a bit better under Torts, but the competition hasn't been the greatest. They did have a good win against Edmonton on Saturday, though. And then on Sunday, Penguins and Capitals, 3 Eastern, 2 Central time. Could be the final time we see Crosby and Ovechkin hit the ice against one another. It'll be the 100th all-time meeting on Saturday, and then 101 on Sunday. And it could be it for Ovechkin. He said to John Walton, the play-by-play voice of the Capitals, that he's going to talk things over with his family during the summer. And we'll see if Ovi decides he wants to play one more year or if he's going to hang up the skates. So we're back here overall in Buffalo, ready for face-off. Again, the goaltending matchup, Jet Greaves against Colton Ellis. Colton Ellis, the rookie, stepping in for Alex Lyon, who's been hurt. Second half of a back-to-back here for the Sabres. They're 8-1-3, by the way, in the second half of a back-to-back. So they've gotten points in all but one game in the situation that's typically frowned upon when you look at the schedule. But the second half of the back-to-backs have treated them well. Sabres wearing their goat head uniforms tonight, as you see on the scoreboard. Black uniforms with white numbering and a red outline on the lettering and numbers. And the Columbus Blue Jackets in their traditional road white uniforms with the navy blue pants and navy blue, or white buckets, I should say, with the navy blue down the sleeve as well. The numbers are navy blue outlined in red, and we are underway with Buffalo winning off the opening draw. Dahlin will walk right in, attacking left to right with a shot that goes right off the upper body of Jet Greaves. Rebound came to the near corner where Zach Benson tried to move it along, but Charlie Coyle did a good job to knock the puck loose, and up on the near side comes Columbus's Connor Garland, acquired from Vancouver at the deadline, taken hard down into the end boards from Matthias Samuelsson, who got jolted back by Charlie Coyle as that puck never made it on net. Meanwhile, back come the Sabres on the far wall. Norris dropped it off, and a shot from Benson made it to Greaves, but he's able to kick it aside to the near boards, and on the left wing out the center is Charlie Coyle, looking to go rink wide for Werenski. It went off the stick of Josh Doan, has 4 goals in 5 games against Columbus. On the far wall, it's Norris trying to send it back this way. It has to be sent right back down by Owen Power, and breaking his stick is Josh Norris as the head of the blade falls off. So now it'll be Marchenko taken back over and leaving for Werenski, as the first 60 seconds have gone by here at a very fast pace. First opening period. And Jaric Rubel with you here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel as Columbus attacking right to left enters the Buffalo zone. Fantilli's shot from the slot went off of Power's leg to the near wall. Collected by Olympic gold medalist Tage Thompson. Cross for Bowen Byram, played it ahead for Krebs, who tipped it behind the Columbus net. In the far quarter down to our right, Tage Thompson tried to get it, couldn't, but it's poked right back down by Byram. But Columbus will try and exit again with Matejchuk up the far wall. Tried to hit Sillinger, it deflected off his stick, and now he had to corral it back. And Matejchuk will try again from the trapezoid down to our right. He'll circle around in his own zone, feed it this way for Ivan Provorov as he goes back behind the goal again for Matejchuk as Columbus has completed a change with 1:45 played in this first period. Over the Buffalo line went the puck, but Boone Jenner was not able to keep it on his blade. On the near wall, now a turnover's forced and Heinen takes it. Heinen cutting behind the goal for Columbus, centered it on top, and a save made by Ellis right there with the right pad on top of the paint was Marchment for Columbus as the puck now just went behind the goal past him as he had a good opportunity back door, but the right pad of Ellis was there to deny it. So Jack Quinn the other way now for Buffalo is there in the midst of changing. From the right wing, he rung it around. McLeod tried to play it to the point, but it's taken by Marchment as he turns out to the red line and sends it into the far corner of the Buffalo zone. Behind now is Rasmus Dahlin, the Sabre captain, working it up straight ahead over the logo. Now the Columbus blue line. Banked it off the far left wing boards, got a return pass and slug it to the near corner. Jordan Greenway returning to the Buffalo lineup tonight after being scratched a game ago. Tipped it at the near circle for Kozak, and a far side shots blocker down by Greaves to the far wall. Dahlin played it back down behind the cage. Kozak in the near corner. 7th overall in 2021 by the Sabres. Couldn't keep it in play as it's down the ice as the Jackets are able to send it, but it does go for an icing with 17:03 to go. So with that whistle and ozone draw coming back for the Sabres, and let's take a look at their lines in this game tonight. Thompson on the top line between Tuck and Krebs. McLeod centering Zucker and Quinn. Norris between Benson and Dome. Kozak between Malenstein and Greenway. A physical fourth line for Buffalo, and they could score as well. D pairings, Dahlin with Samuelsson, Byram with Power, and Stanley with Kesselring, who's been brought back into the lineup after being out for a while with an injury. Now face off here to the right of Greaves, won by the Sabres, shot right on by Thompson, and it's blockered down by Greaves, gave a rebound in the slot, carried by Krebs to the far wall, up to the near circle, Power in the slot, Thompson's wrister got the glass and goes out of play as the Sabres here are snapping it around early. With 16:50 to go in the first period, face-off will stay in the Columbus D zone as Tage Thompson here with a couple of shots down Main Street, but Jet Greaves able to stay squared and centered and come up with 2 good saves as that second shot by Thompson was punched off the blocker and went up over the glass after Greaves was able to get it. So face-off here to the goaltender's right for Columbus, Jet Greaves, or to his left rather, as they're going to move it to the left, as now it'll be Norris for this draw against Charlie Coyle. Charlie Coyle here on a line tonight with Connor Garland and Kirill Marchenko. Fantilli centering Sillinger and Johnson. Jenner between Marchment and Heinen. Then Monahan between Lundestrom and Wood. Charlie Coyle able to win the draw down to our right for Columbus. As now out the center comes Provorov, paired on D tonight with Matejchuk. Far wall, it's sent for Coyle, back on net for Garland, but it got blocked by the Sabres, and now out they come. Benson over the red line, right wing, it sent to Doan over the blue. Played it back in front, but it came back to Doan as it deflected off of Matejchuk. So So from the right wing side, he played it around the Columbus goal to the far boards. Came up near the blue line. Norris tried to get it deep, but it sent back this way from Garland to Marchenko. Out through center. Played it to the far right wing into the Buffalo zone. Garland tried to play it off the pads of Ellis. It went off the side of the net instead and came to Owen Power, who from behind the goal played it on the right wing for Benson. Benson into the Columbus zone. Kind of got poke check. Puck came to McLeod. Now he centered it from behind the goal for Power, and a save made by Greaves as he stopped all five early here in this first period. Rebound down on the far wing. Got sent back out to center as Dahlin's unable to control it. And now Buffalo has to reset here at center. The other two Columbus D pairings while we get a moment. So it's been a fast-paced first period. Werenski with Fabro and Zamula rejoining the lineup paired with Goodbranson tonight. Buffalo back down to our right in the Columbus zone. McLeod tried to center it from the right wing boards, but it got cut off and thrown back to center, and a chance developing here for Columbus as the fourth line is on high and dropped it. Sillinger on shot it, and then it got over the glass and now played on the near wall. Dahlin trying to clear. Up the boards it goes to Quinn. Quinn straight into the Columbus zone. Got poke checked, came to the far boards for Zucker. His shot got blocked by Fantilli. Back on the far boards, a pass for Zucker came back to Quinn, and his shot got blocked. Penalty coming up here on the Jackets, as now a slash is going to be called with 15:13 to go in the first period. And Adam Fantilli is going to be the one to take a seat for Columbus. So Buffalo to the first power play of the game here tonight as the Sabres on home ice, 24% on the power play. That's good for 7th in the whole NHL. As here we go again with the power play graphic not working on the scorebook. So I'm going to hit refresh right here. That'll pop right back up. See if it comes back. There it is. Awesome. Power play on the board. But Columbus here on the PK, not great, 28th in the NHL. Better though on the road. They're 14th on the road at 80%. The Sabre power play again, 18th in the NHL, 7th though on home ice. Face off to the right of Greaves, won by Norris and the Sabres. On the far wing, here's Quinn walking in with a shot that goes off the glass out of play. And the face-off will remain inside the Columbus defensive zone with 1:55 remaining on this power play here now for Buffalo. As this top power play unit consists of Doan, Tuck, Benson, Byram, or I should say, wow, that's the second unit. Put blue instead of yellow. It's Thompson, Quinn, Norris, Dahlin, and Zucker. As now to the right of Greaves, it's won by Norris. To the back, it's Quinn working his way into the slot. Played it right wing circle for Norris. Back up top between the circles, it's Quinn. Works his way to the far boards now. Put it up top, Dahlin, who returned it. Left wing circle down to our right. Quinn played it down to the far corner for Thompson. Works his way up high at the left wing circle. Shot one that went off the glove of Greaves to the near side on the rebound. It's picked up by Dahlin. Tried to play it into the slot. Got poke checked by Coyle. Puck to the far boards for Goodbranson to hammer it down the ice. And down the ice it will go. Columbus able to get a change. 80 seconds remaining on the Sabre power play as the top unit stays out there at the moment. Here's Dahlin keeping it himself through neutral ice to the slot. Got met by Werenski. Puck taken away and sent down the ice again by Columbus as we're down to the final 65 of this Sabre power play. Here's behind the Sabre net to our left, Josh Doan, son of Shane Doan, longtime Arizona Coyote. Puck now flipped back in the Sabre end. McLeod will carry it through center, past the penalty boxes, into the Columbus zone, right wing. Tuck will drop it now for Byram. Across it goes at the far left wing side for Benson. Touched up high for Doan at the far point. Sent it this way at the right point for Byram. Working it straight ahead. Played it this way again. McLeod up high to the near corner. Here's Benson. Back to McLeod. Straight away now Byram. Looking over his options. To the right wing circle. McLeod again. Final half minute of the power play. Puck got deflected. Came back to him down in the slot. Doan a shot and a save made by Greaves as that was a good trigger pull from between the circles. As Doan, I mentioned, 4 goals in 5 games against the Blue Jackets. Almost was able to beat Greaves to the blocker side. But the key word there being almost as Jet Greaves able to get it and squeeze it. So face-off coming up here to his left in the dying moments of this Buffalo power play. 27 seconds remain. As a scoreboard update in Detroit, Philadelphia down 1-0 as Detroit struck first in that game in the first 5 minutes. So good news if you're a Columbus Blue Jacket fan. As face-off here to the left of Greaves against Tuck and Jenner will be pulled back by the Columbus captain, Boone Jenner. And from behind the net, Charlie Coyle collects it on the far wing, shot it down the ice. And into the Buffalo zone, it'll roll behind the net. It'll be left in the trapezoid now for Doan to collect. Skates now up the right wing with some speed. Played it far boards for McLeod. Dropped it now for Benson, who will leave it at the point. Walking right in's Byram with a shot that went off the glove of Greaves as well to the near side. It's McLeod playing it up. Got run over by Jenner as he got upended. And the puck's out to center. The penalty time is up as Columbus has survived that Buffalo power play. Right back in come the Sabres, though, on the right side. Zach Metsa got ran off the play as it rolls around the goal now on the far side. Back out to center. And now Logan Stanley goes this way for Zach Benson. Big size difference between those two Sabres as Logan Stanley comes in standing at 6'7". Meanwhile, Zach Benson only 5'10". A big difference between those two guys as they dished the puck between one another. And now it goes down into the Columbus zone to our right, but it'll get flipped right back out as quick as it went in there. And down to our left now, Logan Stanley will have to play it on the near wall. Metsa got called back up from the Rochester Americans, played it on the near side over the Columbus lines. Greenway shot it right off the blocker of Greaves. Far wall Malenstein couldn't keep possession. Came to the point. Stanley did keep it, but it came right to a Jacket Fantilli. Out he goes straight away. Left it for Sillinger. Came back to Fantilli. His shot and a save by Ellis with the glove as it was awkward looking as Fantilli was able to get behind the defense and let that shot go from the left wing circle. But able to get the glove on it was the goaltender Ellis. And we'll step aside here with 12:15 to go in the first period. Still searching for the first goal between the Blue Jackets and the Sabres. Scoreless hockey in a Buffalo thus far between the Blue Jackets and the Sabres. Jaric Rubel with you here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page. So glad you could join me here on this Thursday night. Last time Columbus hit the ice again, it was that miracle win against the Detroit Red Wings. They finished the season series 2-0-1 against the Wings. All three games went past regulation time for the first time in season series history. And keep in mind, those two teams were in the same division when they were both in the Western Conference, so they played a lot back then as well. And Columbus scored the extra attacker goal. Adam Fantilli with 17 seconds left. Werenski the shootout winner. And those were two huge points for Columbus, who were still alive in the race for third in the Metro. And the final wild card spot. They won an O-zone draw, but it comes back into their own zone. Is now behind the net. Tuck got hit, and it pushed the net to where Jet Greaves fell forward in the blue paint, not expecting that jarring push from behind. Meanwhile, the puck's back in neutral ice in front of the penalty boxes. We're on the right wing side. Peyton Krebs gets tied up with Connor Garland. Puck now into the Columbus zone as it's pushed that way. Fabro will throw it right back up the far wing. Columbus trying to throw it into Buffalo ice, got it as far as their own blue line. And now Krebs takes back over for the Sabres, threw it up the right wing. Quinn to the right wing circle, and a wrister went right off the logo on the chest of Greaves, pinballed back to the near side, and carried out by Garland, left on the left wing for Jenner. Jenner tried to dump it in. It rode the stick of Samuelson and went out of play as those two got tied up into the near corner, but not much more than a couple of words coming from it as Jenner skates back by to say something to Samuelson. But 11:23 remaining here in the first period. Scoreless hockey, shot 6-3 in favor of Buffalo. Might have noticed this nice little Columbus hat. Found it at a Marshall's right by where I live. It was $5.99. Why would I not buy it? And why not throw it on here for the broadcast from Chicago? So no affiliation here with either of these teams, but people always ask why I have all the random gear, and I like hockey, so that's where I get it from. Off the draw to the right of Ellis, a shot goes right on, and it'll be swallowed up on the shot by Provorov. So face-off coming back up here to the Buffalo goaltender's right, 11:20 remaining in this first period. Jenner for this draw against Kozak. It's won back by Jenner. And now a shot by Provorov again. Blocked in front and free in the slot. Trickles in front of the paint. Trying to whack at it's Miles Wood. And a left pad save by Ellis. As now Dahlin, a cross check here right in the chest. The sternum of Jenner that knocked him down. And now all 10 skaters on the ice here gathered up against the boards behind the Buffalo net. As now... looks like Jenner, don't know if he lost an edge or got tripped up again, but he just fell again behind the Buffalo net. And we'll see if any penalties are going to be issued out here. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. Referees here tonight, Pierre Lambert with Jake Brink. Meanwhile, the linesmen are Brandon Grillo with Scott Cherry. Well, look at what happened here on the replay, as I couldn't really see what Dahlin did there again to Boone Jenner, but it was a good jolt that knocked a Columbus captain to the ice. And he'll remain out here for this face-off with 11:12 remaining in the first period. Another Metropolitan scoreboard update. 2-1 Islanders over the Maple Leafs right now, and 1-0 Pittsburgh over the New Jersey Devils. Pittsburgh with a win tonight clinches a playoff spot. Islanders first game under Pete DeBoer, trying to keep pace for third in the Metro or the final wild card spot if Ottawa wins in Florida or against Florida here today. That game on Saturday, Islanders and Sens, could be an elimination game for the Islanders. So big things at stake here as Ottawa leads that game 1-0. As I'm looking here in the bottom right corner of my screen, courtesy FanDuel Sportsnet in Columbus. So they do a good job with the ticker that not a lot of other local broadcast affiliates end up using on their screen during the game, so I appreciate that. But now back to the play-by-play as Columbus is into the Buffalo zone. Here's Fantilli from the left wing circle, shot one off the side of the net. Heinen couldn't field it behind, came to the far wall for Marchenko, threw it up to the point, and Fabro's shot deflects off a skate to the near wall. Now a battle for it at the near half boards down to our left. Puck poked free to Buffalo's Logan Stanley in the trapezoid, played it up the far wall. Greenway from his backhand pitchforks one out the center, and it'll roll into the Columbus zone, and now it's Werenski taking it back. Floated a backhand to the logo for Fantilli, trying to fight through a Norris check, gets free to the far wall, pivots at the circle, left it behind, too much on that pass though as Marchenko won't grab it. Werenski had the pinch, and he just kind of touched it towards Ellis, and he had an easy save to just cover that puck. So 10:02 now remaining in this first period. So I'm talking about the playoff races. 9 of the 16 spots still to be determined in this chase. There are 7 teams currently outside the bracket, but within 3 points of the playoff line. 7 teams have faced a standings deficit of 8+ points this season and are in a playoff spot or within 3 points. Nashville and Winnipeg have overcome 11-point deficits to be in the race. 10 points for Ottawa and 9 points for these Blue Jackets, as well as the Flyers, and then 8 points for Buffalo and Washington. We know Buffalo turned their season around in December, Columbus in mid-January, and there was times as well where people were talking about this being a potential Eastern Conference final. Still feel like that could be in the works if Columbus gets their swagger back these few games in the Eastern Conference and find a way in. They're in the O zone now at the moment. Down to our left wing board, Zamula near the circle had a shot get blocked to the far corner off a leg. Coyle there did a good job to pry that puck free away from Krebs, but he just couldn't keep it in the zone. Now Krebs got a return and took it away from him. Into the Columbus zone, he skates to the right wing, drifted backwards, but a pass got blocked by Sillinger, who now fights through the Buffalo logo at center. Stayed onside, left wing. Coyle will bunt it behind the Sabre goal. Puck picked up in the far corner to our left by Kent Johnson. Kent Johnson centered, Coyle put it back behind, and the trapezoid Johnson corrals again. On his backhand, nudged it left wing dot for Sillinger. Up the boards it goes between the circles. Now Zamula across, a shot there off the stick of Provorov was blocked in front of the blue paint, and now on the far side, Buffalo's Krebs will send it down the ice. This might go for an icing, though. It will, as now the whistle goes with 9:02 remaining in the opening period. So again, scoreboard update is the TV broadcast doing it here. 2-1 Islanders after the first period over the Maple Leafs. Red Wings up 1-0 on the Flyers. Senators up 1-0 on the Panthers. Lightning and Canadiens scoreless thus far. And the Penguins up 1-0 on the Devils. So if you're a fan of these Metropolitan, or the Columbus Blue Jackets here in the Metropolitan Division, or if you're a fan of the other teams just tuning in, that's your Eastern Conference update. Face off to the left of Ellis, won by Columbus. Slug on net from the right point, right on off the stick of Goodbrandts, or Faber, I should say, and a save made by Ellis. Jackets now have to get back as the Sabres send it out to center. Faber again on the left wing for Marchment. Backhanded it near the Sabres blue line. Came back to him, and now he'll let it go back for Werenski. He played it across the logo. Far right wing for Monahan, near a point per game in his career against the Sabres. Played it around the goal to the near wall. Zucker took it back for Buffalo. Played it far wing, left side. Quinn now trying to handle it over the Columbus Blue. Couldn't, as now it's sent back to center. It could be an odd man rush for the Jackets, but unable to corral it was Marchment, as now a puck pinballs to the slot and came up to the point for Werenski to keep on the left side, but it went off a Quinn's skate back to center, as now Columbus retreats back with 8:10 remaining. It a scoreless first period. Shots were once 5-2 Buffalo. They're now 7-6 in favor of Columbus. As back in on the left wing side, generous shot went off the side of the net. Came back behind the goal that he played up to the far point, but it's taken away by by Buffalo. As now on the far wall, it's sent deep by Kozak. Fourth line on the ice now for the Sabres. Set the right wing circle. Kozak put one on net. Save made with the stick of Greaves to the far wall. Stanley pinching. Kept it alive. Put it to the point where it's sent right back down low by Kozak. Fighting for it in the near corner now is Malenstein with Isaac Lundestrom, as it's fourth line against fourth line at the moment. To our right, behind the Columbus goal, Werenski. Backhanded one for Jenner. He can't get it out. It's kept Kozak to the net. Deflected behind to the near wall. Up the board, Stanley will try and keep it. Backhand pass goes down low. Malenstein tried to leave for Greenway. Couldn't, as now Miles Wood takes back over and shot it off the boards and in to Buffalo ice. So Stanley back on it with 7 minutes remaining in the first period. Both teams changing them up again. Jaric Rubel with you here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. Be back with you again Saturday with a special guest for Vegas and Colorado. Looking forward to that. As here's now Owen Power putting one from the right point towards Greaves that he punched to the far wall. Buffalo on the loose puck though. Dome from the circle played it down to the far corner. Benson tied up there with a heavy hit there from Eric Goodbrandts. As now on the near side, Danton Heinen with the puck for Columbus sends it out to center. So Byram will reset for Buffalo, trying to sling it ahead for a pass that didn't connect with Josh Stone, so it ends up in an icing with 6:34 to go in this opening period. Face-off rolling back down now into the Sabres defensive zone, as this is the 50th all-time meeting between the Sabres and the Blue Jackets. Last time out, Columbus won 5-1 back on home ice in Nationwide Arena on January 3rd. Overall, the Sabres are 4-5-1 in their last 10 games against the Blue Jackets and 4-4-2 in this building. Face off to Ellis's left, won by the Jackets. Provorov from the point slung it through the slot, deflected to the near wall. It's up the boards, but not out. Werenski a keep, but a pass got turned over to Norris. And now here comes Buffalo with Werenski caught on the right wing. Krebs in, a shot, he scores! Peyton Krebs from the right wing circle, got a wrister past Jet Greaves, and Buffalo has opened the scoring in this one. So Peyton Krebs on the year, up to 12 goals for the Sabres. Werenski tried to make a play on the left wing boards from keeping the puck in at the point. He ended up getting caught. Provorov the only man back. And on the far wing, from the right wing circle, Peyton Krebs able to snap one past Jet Greaves and open the scoring for Buffalo. So on the year now, for Krebs, it's his 12th on the season, and when scoring first, 35-6-2 are the Buffalo Sabres this year. When giving up the first goal, Columbus 8-18-5 on the campaign. We'll see how that sorts itself out as Buffalo here with the top line on the ice gets back to work. As now Tage Thompson had a puck poked off his stick to the near boards. Dahlin trying to keep it in, or Samuelson I should say. could not, as he has to retreat back to center and fling it across to Dahlin. Now back this side it goes to Samuelsson as he waits for the Sabres to change. 5:35 remaining in this first period. Krebs from Norris, the goal for Buffalo, as the fans are loving it here in KeyBank Center. Again, just 12, or I should say just now 9 days away from potentially the first playoff game in this building in 15 years. We'll see if they're able to get home ice. They're in a good position to do so. The Sabres are right now. And of course, the Eastern Conference playoffs will start on Saturday afternoon, as I'll have the first of 3 games for you here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page. That one should get underway at 1 Eastern, noon Central Time, as now the Sabres back to work in the Columbus zone, put it behind the nets, thrown back up though by the Jackets, is unable to keep it in with Stanley, who tripped at the blue line. And now Metsa will kindle back for Buffalo with under 5 minutes remaining in this opening period. He got crunched off the puck, did Metsa, by Miles Wood in front of the penalty boxes, but now has it back as Stanley gave it back from the red line. Metsa flipped it to the far corner of the Columbus zone. Behind the goal, it's sent back up to center, trying to get it. It's Marchenko, but instead Owen Power for Buffalo sends it across the ice. Greenway tried to feed it up for Malenstein. Pass got cut off. Fantilli, he gallops now into the Buffalo zone, trying to toe drag into the slot. Got taken down. A penalty's coming up, and it'll be Columbus to the power play when we come back. 4:18 remaining in this first period. That Buffalo now leads 1-0 on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. Welcome back in here to Buffalo, where the Sabres lead at 1-0 over the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Jackets are set to go to the power play, but before they do that, I was sitting here wondering why that Sabres goal song didn't exactly sound correct to me, and it's because I uploaded the wrong one here into my hot cues button, as that was the old goal horn. We got to update the 2026 one in here, so we could hear Kickstart My Heart play, everybody's favorite Motley Crue song. So we'll get that loaded in here, as I was kind of disappointed and confused as to why I didn't hear it when the goal was scored. That was my mistake. Proper horn now loaded in, and I'll put back OBS on my screen. We're all set to go here, and this Columbus power play now will start to get to work, as we just now returned to the broadcast and the commercial break has gone away. So this Columbus power play on the year, they are 21st in the NHL, 9th though on the road, 22.6 on the road, and overall the Sabres on the PK, they're 9th in the NHL at 81.4%, 81.3% at home, so not much of a difference whether they are home or away. So face off to the right of Sabre goaltender Colton Ellis, as it'll be Fantilli for this draw for Columbus, and Alex Tuch taking the draw for Buffalo. Tuch at the face-off circle this year, 46%. Fantilli, 50%. He wins the draw. Columbus on the power play gets it. Playing it down low to the near corner to our left. Marchenko found Coyle. Now got a return pass and slug it across to Werenski. Back this way, Marchenko. Down low, Coyle. In front, Fantilli trying to put it on net. Couldn't get it on the target. Now in the trapezoid, digging it out is Samuelsson for Buffalo. He played it up the far wall. And down the ice it will go. So all power plays here, powered by the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. Hit subscribe if you're new here, as me, Matthew, and Seth all thank you very much for your contributions. Seth was supposed to be live tonight for Celtics and Knicks, but instead he'll be live tomorrow for the EFL Trophy Final, Luton versus Stockport at 10 a.m. So come through for that on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. As right now at center ice, Columbus can't find their way into the Buffalo zone. A minute now remains on their power play, and 3:22 in the first period. Here's Marchenko gliding at the red line, dropped it off right there for Fantilli. He snaps in left wing side, got met by Malenstein with the check, but stayed on his feet. Meanwhile, behind the Sabre net, Byram gave it up on the far wall to Coyle, up to the point Werenski. Down low to Marchment, gave it right back to Werenski. Marchment again, trying to get to the slot, sent it this way. Marchenko's pass got tied up with Benson's stick, as now with 40 seconds to go on the power play, on the far wall, Werenski goes down to the trapezoid Coyle. This way now Marchenko drops it back to Coyle in the left wing circle. Now Marchenko rides into that circle with the puck. Played it to the corner for Coyle. Now 3 Jackets at the left wing circle as Marchment joins the play. Puck came up now to the point for Werenski. And on the far wall, it's now Coyle. Sent it this way. Marchment from the circle, and a shot save made there by Ellis. As the Jackets here, it's some really clunky power play movement, somehow managed to keep possession and get a shot on net. And now Colton Ellis looks like his headgear came off, so he's going to have to fix that. As 2:34 remain here in the first period. 17 seconds remain on the power play. As Marchment with that shot from the left wing circle now heads off the ice. As it was real weird puck movement by the Jackets on the power play. They were really just working it in tight from the left wing circle. And then Marchment came in and just things could look like they were about to fall apart. And then Werenski was able to save the day and find Coyle, who made that nice pass to Marchment for the try. As now face-off back to the right of Ellis, won by Monahan. Slapped right on net by Provorov. Save with the pads in the butterfly position by Ellis. Back in the slot. Provorov will try again. It deflects back to the trapezoid. Now Kent Johnson on it. Trying to shield it away to Garland, but it got knocked away. Stanley with possession now as penalty time expires. As it now rolls up to Tuck, he sends it out to center. And Owen Power, fresh out of the box, is tied up with Werenski. And the puck will come back now into Columbus ice, and everybody will get a change and reset. 2 minutes to go here in the opening period. 1-0 Buffalo in this one. Courtesy Peyton Krebs' 12th of the year. Is now Provorov for Columbus. Cut off in front of the penalty boxes. Tuck goes across to Thompson into the Jacket zone. He goes a wrister right off the crossbars. He ripped it high on Jet Greaves, but it went off the bar and back out. And on the near side, it's cleared to center. It's Sillinger for Heinen now into the Buffalo zone. Spinning at the far circle, it's dropped off to Sillinger. He looks and he'll try a shot there that deflects out of play. And that should be the end of period 1 as well. Final commercial break here of period 1, I should say, as 91 seconds remain here in this opening period. Thompson just hit the crossbar, trying to double that Sabre lead, but it remains 1-0 here at the moment. Back in Buffalo, where just a minute ago, Tage Thompson ripped one right off the iron past the blocker side of Jet Greaves. Would have made it 2-0 Buffalo, but instead, it remains still 1-0. Jaric Rubel back with you here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. Glad you're with me on this Thursday. As a face-off here with 91 seconds to go in the first comes up to the right of Sabre goaltender Colton Ellis. It's won by Buffalo and slugged down the ice by Bowen Byram. Won't be an icing as down to the far corner of the Jacket zone it goes. Played to McLeod, button hooking far left wing. Working it low to high now, backhanded it this way. Byram tried to feed it to Power. It's poked away by Marchenko. Now back to center. Here comes Columbus. Could be a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Far wing Coyle. Played it in behind the Buffalo net. Fantilli hunts it down. Played it back behind the goal line, far wing, it's Coyle at the right wing side. Tried to drop it down low for the Jackets, but instead it's poked away by Zucker, and out comes Buffalo. Pass rink wide, trying to connect with Quinn. Didn't work out, as now Marchenko the other way with it for Columbus. Left wing side over the Sabre line. Got it back from Provorov. Left wing side. Provorov again through the slot. Couldn't connect with Fantilli. Now Fantilli has it far right wing circle. Has Werenski back door. He's in, and a good poke check from behind by Jack Quinn. Didn't allow Werenski to get that shot off. Good stuff there by Jack Quinn. Meanwhile, the Sabres in their own zone still trying to get out. They're unable to do so right now, as in the trapezoid. Byram will get another try. Played it into McLeod's skates. He'll look and play it up. It gets to the logo at center. And Provorov now with it. Dropped it off as the Columbus Blue Jackets make changes in the final 10 seconds of the period. Left wing side, Monahan into the zone. Chipped it to the far corner. Garland in after it. Shielding trying to get there against Doan. Couldn't. Final 2 seconds of the period, and the Sabres will get possession and skate away the rest of the period. A 1-0 Buffalo in this game through 20 minutes, thanks to Peyton Krebs, 12th of the year from Josh Norris, as when leading through 20 minutes this year, this Sabre team's 25-2. The Jackets are 7-12-1. When trailing through 20 minutes. Not something they face all too often, only the 21st time this year they have trailed through 20 minutes. They're used to scoring the first goal. They're down now 1-0 in this game, thanks to Peyton Krebs again of the Buffalo Sabres. Shots on goal in that first period, by the way, for the Blue Jackets, they had 10. The Sabres, they had 10 as well. They're just the only one that found the back of the net. So stick around, period 2 coming up soon. This is going to be an important period for Columbus, as they don't want to go down into the third period trailing against this Sabre team. They're 33-2 when trailing when leading after the second, but this Blue Jacket team, if they go down and stay down after the second, they've only come back in the third period twice this year. They are 2-17. So we'll see what this game has in store. Stick around. The second period just around the bend. You're listening to the Blue Jackets and Sabres with Jaric Rubel right here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page. Second period set to begin from Buffalo. Jaric Rubel with you here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. Glad you are with me here on this Thursday night. 1-0 Buffalo through the first 20 minutes as it was Peyton Krebs opening the scoring from Josh Norris as Zach Werenski tried to make a play keeping a puck in at the left side, got caught up, and Provorov was the lone defenseman back for Columbus. Up the right wing side came Krebs, who snapped one past Jet Greaves from the right wing circle. And that was all the goal scoring we had in the opening 20 minutes. Shots on goal were 10-10 in this game for each team, as the shot count was even throughout the first 20 minutes. But we'll see how this second period fares between these two clubs, as attacking right to left in this second period will be the Buffalo Sabres, as going left to right in period 2 will be the Columbus Blue Jackets, as both these teams here get back on the ice, and we're set for face-off here from KeyBank Center in Buffalo. While we went to intermission, Ottawa doubled their lead up to 2-0 over the Florida Panthers, and the Islanders ended up giving up the tying goal versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. So that's the scoring updates right now in the rest of the Eastern Conference. So we're underway in period 2. Columbus with a face-off win, dumping it down to our right into the Sabres zone and giving it away is Doan, and down Main Street on his backhands. Werenski, he just played it off the end boards, pinballed in front. Ellis there literally got a glove on it with Jenner lurking on top, and he'll take a whistle with 18 seconds played in this second period. Face-off coming up to his left as Zach Werenski just played this right off the end boards, and it caromed right back in front, and Ellis there able to just cover it. So face-off here coming up to his left. It's the top line of Fantilli, Sillinger, and Johnson gets over the boards now for Rick Bowness's crew. As Rick Bowness here taking over for Columbus. They have points in 20 of their last 27 games. That's 17, 7, and 3. As off a draw to the left of Ellis. It's won by Fantilli. Shot by Werenski. In and out of the glove of Ellis. It goes to the far wall. Down to the corner. Lundestrom looks. Played it this way. Fantilli, who's double shifting right now. On goal. And a save there by Ellis on the redirect by Lundestrom. Now from the far point. Fabro played it back to the far corner. Well, it'll be Fantilli ringing it around. Came to the right side where Werenski holds it in at the point. Played it back to Fantilli in the trapezoid. Banked it in front. Marchenko there playing it through the slot. Has to collect left wing circle. Up to the point. Fabro now. To the right wing circle. It's played to Werenski. Dropped back up high to Fabro, who can't hold it in. And now has to chase back after it for Columbus. So a minute gone by here in period number 2. Jaric Rubel with you here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page. As Werenski's pass this way for Fabro goes off the boards and awry from him, so he has to scramble back for it. Now gives it to Werenski on the near side, who will skate it up ahead. Gets the red line. Flicked it on in now to the near corner down to our right of the Sabres zone. Rolls on edge to the trapezoid where Ellis wanted to play. It got bumped. Now it came to the near side where a battle for it ensues between Power and Coyle. Goes through Coyle's legs up the boards. Kept it at the right point though. Matejchuk. Long flipper. Save made with the glove though by Ellis as he had no traffic in front. And with 18:26 to go, another ozone draw coming up for Columbus. I mentioned Columbus with points in 20 of their last 27 games. 6 of the last 8 games, I should say, that's all against the Buffalo Sabres, but since Rick Bowness has taken over, they're 28-5. That's 45 points in 33 games. They had 19 wins when he took over. They have 20 now, as he has already gotten to the win count that Dean Evison did, and Columbus tried to get to that playoff spot here with a win tonight and a Philadelphia regulation loss. Off a face-off win to the left of Ellis. A shot went right on by Matejchuk that he swallows up. So we'll do this all again here to the face-off dot on the near side down to our right. So it'll be Coyle for this draw going up against Peyton Krebs as he has to step in for Tage Thompson on this draw. And off the tie-up, it's played back now by the Jackets. Matejchuk on his backhand to the near boards for Sillinger. He'll play it down low behind the Sabre goal. It rolls. Heinen trying to shake free. Gets free from Byram. Played it to the far point. Long shot by Provorov. Did it make it to the goal? Redirects now in behind to the trapezoid to our right. Power has it down in behind, trying to get it free from the skates of Coyle, as now it's soccered along and played through the trapezoid to the far corner, as Tage Thompson will play it up the wall. It won't get out. Played right back on net. Save Ellis. Rebound to Coyle, as it was just flayed towards the net there by Provorov, and Ellis there being good on top of the blue paint with the pads in the butterfly position, kept it out. So the Sabres will get out at the logo at center. Tage Thompson locates a puck and sends it on in as they change him up. As now to our left behind the Columbus goal, Matejchuk still out there. Goes up the wall for Coyle. Long shift here for these Blue Jackets as they haven't changed quite yet. But on the left wing side, here's Miles Wood fresh on the ice. Tried to get a return pass from Sillinger, but that's cut off. And on the left wing side, Metsä finds Stanley. Stanley over the Blue Jacket line. Twisted in front. Norris can't find it. Provorov will for Columbus. He backhanded it back up, but not out. On the near side, Doan down low for Benson. Fed it across, and it goes off of Greaves back through the slot. Stanley down Main Street. A save made there by Greaves as Stanley let a half clapper go. On the left wing side, it'll be kept in by Norris. Slung down low in the trapezoid for Benson. Benson played it for Doan. Got it right back in the near corner. Benson back up top to Stanley. He'll slide it across to Metsä. Metsä at the far point. Back to Stanley left side. Along the blue line, trade spots with Doan. Doan goes across now, and a long shot by Benson went wide up the near side. It rolls. Now it'll be Metsä keeping it in as he got hit by Kent Johnson. Doan now in the near corner to our left. Up the boards, Metsä again to Stanley. Deflected off of his blade, and now here comes Columbus 3-on-2. Over the Buffalo line they go, as it'll be Monahan just out of gas. Wanting to go change, played it around the goal to the near corner. Up the boards, Goodbranson tries to keep it. It comes across, and it'll be out to center as Miles Wood now will throw it on back as he heads to change. The Sabres change as well with 4 minutes played in this second period. Down to our right, the Jackets play it back into Sabre ice. Dahlin tried to exit, couldn't, came back to him and now lost it. Throw it in the slot. Marchment shot it over the blocker of Ellis and got the glass. On the far left wing side, Garland with it. Tried to play it at the point for Zamula, got poked away by Tuck. And now Garland and Tuck are after it down to our left in the far corner of the Jacket zone. Zamula trying to play it away from Thompson. Poked up through the slot, not out. Dahlin to Tuck, far circle. Long shot got blocked by Zamula. It goes out of play with 15:36 remaining here in the second period. Shots are 13-11 in favor of the Blue Jackets, but the Sabres still leading this game 1-0 on the goal by Peyton Krebs, his 12th of the year, set up by Josh Norris. Blue Jackets here trying to get this equalizer, had an opportunity on the doorstep as Matejchuk played one in front, and unable to get there was Coyle as the stick of Ellis swooped it away before the Columbus centerman was able to find the loose change. So face off to the left, down to our left in the far dot, it'll be McLeod against Fantilli, and McLeod won it to himself off the far boards, but he played it to the point with nobody home. So now Dahlin has to get back, played it up the near left side, out past the penalty boxes. It's grabbed by Zucker, given to McLeod, skates on the left wing side, has to regain possession, lost it to Lundestrom, and now Isaac Lundestrom for the Jackets got it to Fantilli. His rink-wide pass goes away from Fabro, rose into the Buffalo zone. This will be icing, and I don't think it should have been. I think Dahlin took a lazy route to that puck, but it ended up working out for Buffalo, and the whistle goes with 15:13 remaining in the second period. So the Sabres getting a line change on as Norris, Benson, and Doan will hop back over the ice, or over the boards it looks like, as that line's been generating a lot so far here in this game. See if they're able to find the back of the net. So face-off coming up here in the D zone following the icing for Columbus, as it'll be here to the right of Jet Greaves. Fantilli against Norris for this draw. Josh Norris brought over here from Ottawa a season ago. Trade that sent Dylan Cousins the other way to Ottawa. Seemed to have worked out for both teams, as Norris is able to win the draw, and controlling are the Sabres. Around the goal is Byram. Played it from the far wall back to the trapezoid. Norris there to dig it out, falling to his knees, still trying to stay with it. Got it to Doan. Far right wing circle to the net. It went through the paint. Up the near side, Power will keep it. Slung back to the corner. Benson's tied up with the glass, as now he lost possession. And now the Jackets get it as Marchenko drops it back to Fabro and played it up the far left wing for Fantilli, who couldn't field it cleanly over the Sabre line. Slung back out the center by the Sabres. Rolling into Jacket territory. The puck will be grabbed by Fabro for Columbus. Threw it back up by the penalty boxes. Grabbed back, though, by the Sabres as it's right back into Columbus territory. In the far corner to our left, Benson tried to get there, but Werenski did a good job to take him out of the picture. And now Sillinger will sling it this way for Fabro. He'll leave it off for Werenski with 4:15 to go in the second. Back up past the penalty boxes. Fabro will send it into Buffalo ice. Down beneath the goal line to our right, Zach Metza played it right into the skates of Logan Stanley. He's trying to find it now. Is trying to jar it loose for Columbus's Danton Heinen. Still a four-body scrum to our right. Dug out by Metza. Played around the goal to the far corner. Grabbed, though, by Danton Heinen, pivoting from his backhand to his forehand. Tried to play it back behind the goal, but a good body check there by Kozak jarred the puck loose. And up the boards it goes for Malenstein to sling it down the ice. This is going to go for an icing, though. And with 13:44 to go in the second period, the whistle blows. And an offensive zone draw coming back up for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So the Jackets play 7 games here in the month of April. They're 1-2 so far. Got 2 more games left at home, as well as one final multi-game road trip that they're on the second game of right now. One in Detroit Tuesday. They'll wrap it up Saturday in Montreal. They've earned points in 19 of the past 23 matchups against the Metropolitan Division, as their final game of the year will be against the Washington Capitals in what could be OV's final game of his career. So offensive zone draw won by Columbus following the icing. Right wing boards, it's played up by Marchment to Matejchuk. His long shot went looking for a redirect by Monahan. Didn't make it, though, as it went in behind and sent up ahead by the Sabres. They'll get the red line, and Kozak at the end of a shift will head on off. Is down to our left. Marchment got ran into by Malenstein as the puck deflects back out to neutral ice. And the Sabres, Thompson will circle back in his own zone. Ripped it on the left wing boards for Krebs. Dropped off Dahlin. Skates into the zone. Dropped it off Krebs. Played it back in the corner down to our left in Columbus ice. Dahlin trying to get that puck, bounced off his blade, thrown up through neutral by Marchenko, and that bouncing puck now will be collected back by Samuelson as both teams change with under 13 minutes remaining here in the second period. Good goaltending by Colton Ellis thus far for Buffalo in this one, starting as Alex Lyons still injured, unable to go on the second of a back-to-back. Top line back on the ice for Buffalo is Thompson, far wing. Tried to go this way for Tuck. Played back to Dahlin, but it deflects off him back to center. And now resetting is the captain. Turned it over, a rare turnover from Dahlin, but able to get there on the back check was Tuck to pry it away from Lundestrom. And the Sabres avoid disaster as it's played back to center. And that's one thing I've noticed here with this Buffalo team. I'm going through on my TikTok, if anyone's interested, at Jaric, Jaric, does PXP, play-by-play, going over reasons why all 16 teams that clinch the playoffs can and cannot. As now, real quick, the Jackets back in, and a shot by Fantilli in the slot shut down by Ellis. But this Sabre team struggles to exit their zone when the forecheck's being pressed against them. And a couple of times here tonight, it's been noticeable again, but nothing in the back of their net yet. They go back to work in the Columbus end of things. At the near point, left side, it's Byram. Flicked it in behind, bounced from the trapezoid to Zucker far wall, and the slot is shot by Quinn. Blocked back through the slot, it rolls, grabbed now by Power looking to go backdoor, couldn't connect with Zucker, banked off the far wing to Byram. Byram shielding on that far wing, sent it to the point. Quinn a one-timer, and a save made by Greaves. Might have been blocked by Fantilli as he's laboring as it got him in the ankle as it came up to Garland at the Columbus blue line, and he'll get it up ahead, and it'll be shot back into Buffalo ice by Boone Jenner. And now the Sabres trying to get out, can't, as Jenner played it back deep, but only Owen Powers back as the Jackets are changing. So now he'll wait it out, as now that's Dante Fabro, my apologies, not Fantilli, 15, not 19, laboring on the Columbus bench as he's doubled over in some pain. As right now his teammate Charlie Coyle works it ahead into the Sabre zone through center, makes a move past Power on a backhand, and he couldn't hit the target on the blocker side of Ellis. Rebound through the trapezoid up to Marchment right wing side. Send it across to the point. Zamula, a wrister, goes off the left arm of Ellis. Rebound to the near side, grabbed by Coyle. Coyle up near the blue line, try to pass to Zamula. It's knocked away beautifully there by the Sabres. A diving play by Doan, but he's unable to get it over the Columbus blue line. So now back with it comes Marchment. Marchment to the right wing circle of the Buffalo zone. Looks over his options. Mishandled the puck, trying to keep possession. Tied up, lost it as Byron played it up the left wing boards. And Benson in front of the penalty boxes will loft one into the Columbus zone. Glove down by Provorov. Sent on his backhand this way for Zamula. Zamula and Provorov, both ex-Philadelphia Flyers. As Provorov heads off the ice, Zamula remains out there. as he controls now and sends it up past the penalty boxes for Fantilli. Got squeezed up off the Buffalo blue line by Dahlin, and now around the goal it goes for Samuelsson to clear. Back in possession it goes for Werenski, played on the logo. Fantilli collects, tried a backhander, they got cut off, but came to Lundestrom, who sends it into Buffalo ice, and Poole cues it from the right-hand side behind for Marchenko. Tried the center for Fantilli, but it's grabbed by Tuch, and now thrown up the far right wing boards for Samuelsson. Tries to go over the Columbus line, is not offsides, but he lost possession anyway, as a slap pass now on the right wing boards gets tipped in by Marchenko. Back in Buffalo ice, down to our rights, thrown back up the left wing side. Thompson heads out to center, hits Tuch in stride. Tuch now straight in over the left wing side for Kozak, or Krebs, I should say. Peyton Krebs skating to the far wall, dropped it off Stanley, looking back door, couldn't find Tuch, and now here comes Columbus 3-on-2 if they hurry. Miles Wood straight over the logo, left wing boards now Kent Johnson, playing it down low to the corner. Werenski played it to the near side, up the boards it goes. It'll be sent back by Kent. Kent to the near corner, trying to get there's Monahan for Columbus, as Rick Bowness now is going to the line blender, as we've seen a bunch of different trios in this second period for Columbus. Johnson in the near corner, had a puck roll up near the point. Good Branson controls, tried to give it back to Johnston, and he's able to keep it away from Tuch. Now he goes across. Fabro one-timer off the crossbars. Columbus beat Ellis, but it did not find the back of the net, as now Stanley trying to clear is having a tough time, and it does eventually get out off the far boards, as now Columbus makes changes. Buffalo stuck out there. Garland right in on the right wing side. Shielding here at the right wing circle. Played it on top of the paint. Deflects back to him in the near corner. Gets past Samuelsson, driving to the goal, and a backhand stop there by Ellis, as he might have got it with the stick. Back at the right wing circles, Coyle up to the point. Good Branson, a shot and a save made by Ellis. It's underneath him. It's free. No whistle is gone. In the blue paint, it's going to be picked up by Coyle and shot just wide on the near side. Still free in the trapezoid. Grabbed by Garland, right wing side. Up the boards for Sillinger. Played it back up top. Good Branson, one-timer, save. Ellis free in the slot. His headgear's still on as somebody landed on top of him. As now the Sabres will get it at the left side, and McLeod will clear. Ellis takes the headgear off, puts it back on, as now the Jackets are right back in. Far circle, here's a shot by Garland, save made, left pad by Ellis. This kid's playing spectacular. Jackets keep it in. Fabro, far circle, Werenski, down low, a shot and a save made, short side by Ellis again. Sabres clear it up, getting on his horses. Jack Quinn racing in for it in the far corner, takes a look to center for Zucker, but Provorov took a good route to it to cut it off, and backhands it up the near side. Won't get out yet. Can't get it out. Quinn kept it down the slot, took a trip and took the shot and shot it just wide. As now a penalty here is coming up on Connor Garland, as the Sabres here get terrific goaltending at one end by Colton Ellis, and then at the other end, Jack Quinn cutting to the slot, gets tripped by Connor Garland and draws a penalty. And when we come back, the Sabres to the power play with the arena buzzing. Back in Buffalo, Sabres to the power play after Connor Garland took a trip for the Jackets. Buffalo up 1-0, looking to add to their lead. Scoreboard update real quick as the Islanders now up 4-2 on the Leafs, lead that one. Meanwhile, the Red Wings up 3-1 over the Flyers in that game. 3 points for Mo Seider at the moment for the Red Wings. And then the Ottawa Senators still up 2-0 over the Florida Panthers, and the Pittsburgh Penguins up 3-2 over the New Jersey Devils. And then Montreal 1-0 over Tampa as Cole Caulfield finally got his 50th of the year from Suzuki and Slavkovsky. That trio's been unreal. Best line in hockey last month, hands down, with Thomas, Snuggerud, and Holloway a close second in St. Louis. Sabres, though, to the power play. Face off to the right of Greaves. They'll control, and Dahlin had some trouble with it. It results in the Sabres having to get back in neutral ice, and they'll reset here with the first 15 seconds elapsed on the power play and under 7 minutes remaining in the second period. Sabres attacking right to left in this frame. If you're just now joining the broadcast, they don't get possession into the Columbus zone as Provorov will play it out to center ice. And now here comes a chance for Jenner and Coyle. Jenner left wing circle, slap shot and a save by Ellis, shorthanded there as that try by Columbus with a man in the penalty box, I should say, was unique by Jenner as Coyle was looking to go back door. As we'll look at the replay here. And Jenner did not see an opportunity as Dahlin was converging in on him quickly, and Coyle was jumping to get to the other side of the net and just wouldn't have made sense. Face off to Ellis's right, won by Monahan, right on a shot by Provorov, dealt by Ellis, and it's now to the far corner for Dahlin to backhand it up to neutral ice. From in front of the penalty boxes, Zucker will be offsides, it looks like, with 7:16 to go here, or with a minute 16 to go here on the Sabre power play, and 6:30 to go in the second period. Zucker not happy with that offsides call. Posted a goal and an assist in back-to-back games, including the winning goal in each of the last 2 Sabres games. He's got 7 game winners this year. That's the most among all Sabres skaters this campaign. Able to win a draw, did Zucker in neutral ice in front of the penalty boxes. Sabre power play back in now into the Columbus zone. On the near side, Provorov doesn't like that. He'll throw it right back the other way. Tells the Sabres they must head back into their own defensive zone with a minute remaining on their power play. Here comes Jack Quinn. This guy's got it going on tonight. Through the center ice position, dropped it off at the Columbus blue line, but it's read like a book and thrown back to center. Is on the right side, Coyle got it to Jenner. Jenner driving on his backhand, goes to the right wing corner, absorbs a hit from Zucker as the Sabres fight for that puck and get it back. Norris will go rink wide to Thompson, far right side into the Columbus zone. Pivots at the right wing dot, now skates to the corner, threw it back to the dot for Zucker, got poked away from him, but now came back because of Doan. Zucker, far left or right wing boards, up high Dahlin, his shot got the glass to the near side, it goes on the rebound. Thompson twisted it back, but Dahlin's on the left side, not normally where he is between the dots, and it rolls down the ice. The Sabres get back again. Buffalo in this period, by the way, only 1 shot on net. I feel like that's something I should have mentioned a while ago, as Columbus has done a great job here of not allowing Buffalo to generate absolutely anything. And over at the other end, Colton Ellis has kept his team in it, as now they've killed off a penalty. Back to even strength we go, as the Jackets are 2 for 2 on the PK tonight. And now the Sabres here in their own zone get reset as they get the even strength lines back on the ice. Here's McLeod on the far side on a return pass from Power. Dropped it at the point for Malenstein. This way McLeod played it to the net, got blocked in front. Now to the far circle, here's Goodbranson. He left it in the corner along the far wall. Here's Garland shielding. Power sandwiches him up against the glass and knocks him down. Malenstein with the puck out of the far corner. Right wing circle. Played it backdoor for Kozak. Got blocked. Benson a whack save. Greaves on his backhand was Benson. And with the left pad and the butterfly was Greaves to make the save. As now here's Malenstein getting into a little extracurricular with Goodbranson. And Goodbranson knocks his helmet off and gives him a face wash there with his left glove. As Beck Malenstein there trying to create some stuff and spark some energy back into his Sabres team that's been shut down in this second period, but still in front. 1-0 over the Columbus Blue Jackets. Back in a moment here on the Ultimate Sports Media channel. Back here in Buffalo, where the Sabres lead at 1-0 over the Columbus Blue Jackets as we're past the halfway point in this game. My name is Jaric Rubel. I'm so happy to have you all with me here on this Thursday night. If you're new to the stream, hit subscribe and turn the bell notifications on, as well as hit like on this stream. If you want to hear me again, I'll be back with you Saturday with a special guest for Golden Knights and Avalanche. That'll be right here at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific, 6 Mountain Time, as I look forward to bringing you the first Golden Knights game this season on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. Would not have thought it would take until April to get the Vegas Golden Knights on here, but it did indeed take a full 6-7 months to bring it to you guys. But again, an update here in the Eastern Conference before we resume play. The Red Wings have now extended their lead to 4-1. Dylan Larkin's short-handed goal now has 3 points on the game as well, joining Mo Sider. Senators still up 2-0. Islanders still up 4-2. Habs still up 1-0. And the Penguins still up 3-2. And if you're interested in the Western Conference race as well, Jets and Blues tied at 1 down in St. Louis. An elimination game pretty much for the loser of that one. So CBJ here to the power play. They ended up giving a penalty out here to the Sabres. So back to the man advantage goes Columbus, as now they get set up in the Buffalo zone on the far wall. It's played up to Werenski, and his one-timer from the point got the glass, as now he gets it back at the far wall. Played it down low, trying to hit Marchenko, but it's taken away Greenway, but they can't clear. On the near side, it's Mason Marchment, the ex-Dallas Star and Seattle Kraken, brought over from Seattle at the deadline. Puck to the far left wing circle. Marchenko shot it through the blue paint. Down on his wallet goes Ellis. Meanwhile, up at the point now is Werenski. Right wing circle, drifting to the slot is Marchment. Now to the left wing side, sent it this way, Fantilli, and now Ellis falling backwards, was trying to make a goofy save, and that puck didn't even make it to the net. As the best way I could describe it, I'm gonna try and stand. Bro just like glided backwards and to his left while standing to make the save. Didn't go down in the butterfly. It's strangest thing. But now under a minute here to go on this Columbus power play as they twist back in on the far side. It's Marchment. Dropped it for Fantilli. Got it back in the trapezoid. To the near side, it's Coyle. Top of the right wing circle. Up between the dots now it's Werenski. Werenski drifting to the far side. Gave it to Marchment. Now straight ahead. Now here's Marchenko, right wing side, shot off the skate there of Greenway, deflects to the far wall, not out of play. Buffalo started sleeping, Columbus still with it. 25 to go on the power play, 3 to go in the second period. Left wing circle, Marchment, twisting now up to the blue line for Werenski. Werenski back to the far corner, Marchenko looking for Coyle on the doorstep, couldn't connect. Came back to him now on the far side, got it taken away. Matthias Samuelsson on the near side, trying to kill the clock. Can't. Marchenko got it right wing circle. Marchment try to wrister off the skate of Greenway to the near side. Penalty time up. Columbus still controls at the point. Werenski, long wrister, blocker save. Ellis, punch to the far dot. Taken up by Tuck, and he has Quinn with him up on the far side. Here's Tuck with Quinn. Quinn far right wing circle. Toe drags back to Tuck. Oh, what a save by Jack Greaves. He didn't even know he had it. It was underneath him and cleared to Werenski on the far side as Jack Greaves just stole Alex Tuck. As Alex Tuck, something about getting robbed down deep at the left wing circle. Shout out Braden Holtby in 2018. Didn't quite look like that this time, but Tuck just has a knack for getting robbed near that same spot on the near side. So under 2 minutes to go here in the first period. Sabres getting set back up in Columbus ice as Dahlin possesses at the far point. Pirouetting here on Heinen to the far wall. Gave it up now, and at the far circles Norris looking for a shot. Blocked in front. Goes to the trapezoid. Kozak picks that back up. Buffalo here with only 3 shots in that second period, or in this second period. But Alex Tuck with the greatest one got robbed by Jet Greaves just a moment ago. As Buffalo resets here at center and tries to get a couple fresh bodies on the ice. Josh Doan now on the ice for Buffalo. Puck finds him now as he backhands it for Norris on the far right wing side. Trying to get past good Branson. Couldn't. Puck free though for Krebs to the left wing circle. Power a shot. Save Greaves. He'll cover it with 1:11 to go in the second period. So Jet Greaves all of a sudden standing on head as we take one last break in the middle frame. Alex Tuck set up by Jack Quinn on the back door, and it was the right leg underneath the pad of Jet Greaves that got it, and it didn't roll under. It stopped right under the pad and bounced right down. Greaves didn't know he had it, but it stayed out, and it remains 1-0 Buffalo. Back in a moment. 71 seconds remain in the second period in Buffalo, with the Sabres up 1-0 over the Columbus Blue Jackets. Jaric Rubel with you here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel, as these Sabres are on pace to record 108 points this season. That's the most points in a single season the Sabres would have since the 06-07 year, where they had 113. It would mark the sixth time in franchise history they record more than 105 in a season. We'll see if they could get to 106 tonight with a win, as they are 21 minutes away from doing just that. In the final minute now of this second period, the Sabres up the far wing have one tipped into Columbus ice. Jack Quinn gets bodied away by Goodbranson, but ends up with the puck up the right wing side, trying to put it up to the point for Stanley. But instead, Goodbranson took it, played it ahead, and now Jenner, a good stick lift on Byram, has Columbus with the puck. Right wing side, button hooking now is Coyle. Played it in the corner again for Provorov. Provorov looking, shooting, blocker save Ellis. He'll squeeze it with a man on the doorstep, Jenner. And with 34.4 to go here, Ellis with another save in this game with his 25th. Keeps it still 1-0 Buffalo, as he has been awesome for the Goathead Sabres in this game. Believes it's the final game as well this year. The Sabres will wear their Goathead uniforms, as they only have one home game left after tonight. That's next Wednesday against the Dallas Stars. As you never know, could be partying like it's 1999, as the Stars are wearing the 1999 jerseys that they won the Stanley Cup in against these Sabres. Don't want to bring that up, Buffalo fans. I'm so sorry. That's a bad relic of the past, but never know. That would be a fun Stanley Cup final this year, Dallas and Buffalo. I'm sure that would bring in the ratings to like no tomorrow, and the heaviness of it's just going to be awesome. But of course, any team really this year can make it. So down to the final 20 of the second period. On the right wing side, having trouble was Marchment with it, so Benson's up the left wing. Tried to play it in the middle, but Marchenko eliminated Benson from getting that puck, as now it'll be Marchenko again as the time expires in the second period, playing it around his own net. And that'll do it here for the middle frame. 14 shots in that period for Columbus, only 4 for the Sabres. But Colton Ellis, what a dog in net for Buffalo, as he stopped everything thrown his way thus far, as Buffalo carries that 1-0 lead from the first intermission into the second intermission. And I mentioned earlier, they're 33-2 when leading through 40 minutes. Columbus 2-17-0 when trailing through 2 periods of play tonight. The lone goal in this game, Krebs from Norris. It occurred in the first period with under 90 seconds remaining. And we'll see what this second period, or what this third period brings, with an important 2 points on the line for Columbus. The Flyers currently down 4-2 in regulation to the Red Wings as we speak. So I'm sure Columbus is scoreboard watching that. They know they have the tiebreaker over over Philadelphia. So you got to expect a big push here from the Jackets in this third period to try and get themselves back into third in the Metro. Stick around for that. It's the third period. It's coming up next. It's right here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. 1-0 Buffalo over Columbus through 40 minutes. You're listening to this hockey game right here with me, Jaric Rubel. See you soon for the third. Welcome back into the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel for the start of the third period between the Blue Jackets and Sabres. Buffalo up 1-0 still through 40 minutes of play. The lone goal belongs to Peyton Krebs, 12th of the year from Josh Norris. Happened back in period number 1. A reminder, I'll be back with you all Saturday with a special guest for the Avalanche and Golden Knights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain Time, 5 Pacific. A prime time game to tune you up for the Stanley Cup playoffs, which start next Saturday, April 18th. I'll be with you for the kickoff game at 1 Eastern. Then I'll be with you again, or I should say 2 Eastern, and then 1 Eastern will be the game on Sunday. I'll be with you as well. The East kicks off Saturday, the West on Sunday. It's playoff time, ladies and gentlemen, the best time of year. And also, this upcoming Sunday, I'll be with you for Capitals and Penguins. Could be the last time we see Crosby versus Ovechkin on an NHL rink. So we'll see if Ovi hangs him up. He'll make a decision this summer, but it's very well possible that that's the last time we see the Grade 8 versus Sid the Kid in an NHL game. Also going on the channel, we got EFL Trophy Final going on tomorrow. Luton versus Stockport at 10 a.m. with Seth Eves, or I should say on Sunday going on. And then on Sunday as well, the Food City 500 from Bristol at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Matthew Owens will be with you for that one as he's back on NASCAR coverage. Big thank you to the JB Motorsports team for taking care of everything during March Madness season. And then the NBA play-in starts middle of the week as well. Pierre Moss and Seth Eves have you started the first 2 days, and then Matthew jumps in on Friday in the NBA play-in. So underway here in period 3, Columbus, a big third period for them as they look for an equalizer. Detroit up 2 goals on Philadelphia at the moment. A regulation win for Columbus, or I should say a win of any kind, and a loss in regulation for the Flyers will put Columbus back into third in the Metropolitan Division. As now a scrum starts here with 22 seconds gone in the third period as a shot went right into the glove of Jet Greaves. So an ozone draw upcoming here for the Sabres down to our right in the near corner. In that second period, just 4 shots for the Sabres as Columbus did a good job to limit their chances as Columbus themselves put 14 on net towards Colton Ellis, and he stopped all of them. He stopped 24 of 24 in this game as the Blue Jackets are searching for an answer to try and find some points in the standings. Face off to the left of Greaves. It'll be Jenner beating Thompson clean on the draw. Jackets will possess as Zach Werenski, Olympic gold medalist, assisted on the game-winning goal by Jack Hughes. Got it up ahead at the Buffalo blue line. Left it left wing for Sillinger. Played it through the blue paint. It bounces off the wall to Coyle. He played it to the point. Werenski's unable to keep it in. As now at the logo, he throws it this way for Fabro, who resets in his own zone. Threw it up the right wing for Coyle. Coyle will kitty corner it into the near side on the left-hand side as Heinen will play it around the goal. It'll be Byram picking it up behind the goal line, flipping it out to center for Buffalo as Tage Thompson collects over the Columbus line. Toe drags into the far circle, trying to keep possession. Stick checked by Heinen and lost it. As now Matejchuk trying to dig it out from Tuck. Played it behind the goal for Provorov. Had trouble with it. Krebs cut him off and played it to the point for Power. Power straight away. Goes to the far wall. It's now thrown towards the net by Samuelson, and a save made by Greaves, and the rebound was a dangerous one, but came up the left wing to Provorov. Provorov now glides into Buffalo ice and plays it deep as the Jackets are changing. Behind the Buffalo net, now Matthias Samuelson will recollect. He'll leave it in his own zone for Power, as now Owen Power waits in his own end, goes D to Samuelson again. On the far side, it's played up and tipped in by Zucker. On the far wing in the Columbus end, it's McLeod playing it around the net. To the near corner, it'll be grabbed by Quinn. Flung back around to the far wall, grabbed again by Dahlin, fresh on. Taken to the boards in the far corner by Lundestrom, I apologize, as now the Sabres are able to keep it in the zone, as now Zucker will twist it deep on the right-hand side, but it'll go as far as Lundestrom's blade again, as the Jackets will take back over cleanly this time. So Igor Zamula in his own end as the fourth line gets off the ice for Columbus. The top line gets on of Jensen, Fantilli, and Sillinger. And now Kent Johnson with the puck glides over the logo to the far right wing, shot it off the glass into the Sabres zone. Behind in the trapezoid, Ellis let it ride. Metza wants to play it, got tied up, and now it came up the wing and trying to get it out. It's Greenway. He threw it right out of play. Is that going to be a delay of game penalty? As Columbus is calling for it, Miles Wood saying that went clean out. Nobody else touched it. And now the officials are going to huddle with 17:29 to go in the third. As now we'll get a look here on the replay. And Greenway does shoot it. I can't see if it hits Kent Johnson's blade or not, but Miles Wood right away saying it went out of play. And I think it did hit Kent Johnson's stick. But we'll see what the call is. I only got 2 looks at it, and the second one was the only good one. But it looked like it did hit the blade of Kent Johnson's stick. But it looks like a penalty is going to be called here, as it's going to be a delay of game. And now the puck goes out of play with 17:29, and that sends Columbus to the power play. And Jordan Greenway's not happy about it either. He's just kind of more calm and concerned rather than mad about it. Here's another look. As he shot it does hit the stick of Kent Johnson. I don't know if they could review this. I don't have, all the rules stored in my brain. Greenway's talking to his team on the bench. And it looks like now he's not heading over to the penalty box as Lindy Ruff's looking things over. As we'll see if he's going to make the trot to the sin bin, and it looks like he is. So he's not happy about it, and Greenway has every right not to be happy with this. This was not a delay of game. It went right off of Kent Johnson's stick, and that ends up creating a bad call made by the officials. Again, Pierre Lambert and Jake Brink are the referees. Linesmen are Brandon Grillo and Scott Cherry. As the Sabre bench, not really up in arms too much. And now referee Jake Brink is going to signal to play on here. And it's going to be a Columbus power play. It's not deserved. I'm not saying that to be bitter or biased. I got the Columbus hat. I'm not cheering for him or anything. Whoever wins, wins. But bad call on the delay of game. Should not have been a penalty on Greenway. But the Sabres win the draw. They clear. So the Columbus Blue Jackets chase back on this power play, but it's much needed for them and could be a difference in their season if they're able to tie this game and eventually win it. Here's Fantilli on the left wing. Got it cut off by Tuck. Back down the ice it'll go. Werenski will chase in it into his own zone after it. His 25 seconds have already gone by on this Jacket man advantage. At the logo at center, Werenski drops it for the push and back entry. Fantilli gets speed through the center ice position. On the far wall into the Buffalo zone. Coyle far right wing. Played it behind the trapezoid. Fantilli backhanded up to Werenski at the left point. 2 Jackets set up in front of the goal. Now to the bumper goes Marchment. Fantilli across. Couldn't hit Marchenko on the back door. Marchenko plays it off the far boards. Now his head's down low with it for Coyle. Has to glove it to his stick. Backhanded it to Marchenko. Goes off a Sabre skate but kept it at the left point by Fantilli. Minute to go on the Jacket power play. Far right wing circle. Marchenko a wrister and a save made by Ellis. Cleaned up and out of there by the Sabres. As now down the ice it goes again. The Jackets and Sabres both make changes with 50 seconds to go on this power play. So Werenski will leave it at his own blue line for Kent Johnson. Nudge to Garland, who gave it back on the left wing. Johnson will snap it in. Around the Sabre goal, it goes to the far corner down to our left. Rolls now to the trapezoid. Power played it up the near side. Grabbed, though, by Johnson. And the Jackets get possession back. Chip to the back. Provorov. 30 seconds left on the power play. Provorov between the circles. Poked it for Garland to the left wing. Johnson. A shot. Shoulder save. Far side by Ellis. Rebound to the far corner. Cleared down the ice by Malenstein. And now the Jackets chase back in the final 15 of their power play. One last rush for them with the man advantage. Up to center is Provorov. Dropped it for Garland, push him back entry. Gave it left wing boards for Monahan into the Buffalo zone. Run out of there by Krebs, but it's played to the back to Provorov anyways. Across Matejchuk, a shot save. Ellis, rebound to the far corner. Penalty time's expired. It's cleared up but not out by Samuelson. Far point Matejchuk. Got a return pass between the dots. His shot save. Ellis with the glove as that gets a round of applause from the Key Bank Center faithful as he's now stopped his 27th consecutive shot from Columbus thrown his way. So a good PK from the Sabres, but it was really good because of their goaltender Colton Ellis, as he came up with a few good saves, one on Marchenko, one on Kent Johnson, as he came through for the Sabres and keeps it 1-0 Buffalo here on home ice as they try to maintain the Atlantic Division lead. So 15-17 to go in the third. Face-off in the O-zone for the Jackets to our left in the near dot. Won by Jenner against Krebs. To the back, Werenski had a shot blocked between the circles. Came back towards him. He one-armed it to himself and gloved it back and threw it on his backhand behind to the trapezoid. Sillinger with it out of the far corner. Up top, Werenski slid it this way for Goodbranson at the left dot. He tried to play it towards the net. It got cut down in front by Matthias Samuelsson. And the Sabres get out on the far wall. Krebs will shoot it on in. The lone goal scorer of this game tonight. Around to the near side it goes, back behind the Columbus net. Goodbranson couldn't clear on the far wall. It's thrown to the net by Dahlin, and Greaves will gobble that one up. 17th shot on goal of the game for the Sabres. As with 14:46 to go, a faceoff comes up in the O-zone for Buffalo following that save by Greaves. I mentioned Greaves been good since Bonus took over. He's gone 13-4-3 in his past 20 starts, a 2.37 goals against average, a 914 save percentage with 2 whitewashes in 21 games played. Ranks 5th among NHL goaltenders in goals against and save percentage since January 11th. Minimum 6 games played in that category. Face off to his right, won by Coyle and the Jackets, and up the left wing and out to center. The puck is sent, but it's regathered by Doan and put up the far wing for Benson to send on in, or Norris, I should say. Played behind the Columbus net. Matejchuk will play it up the near side. It rolls down the ice. It won't be icing as it went off of Owen Power. So Bowen Byram gets back after it and circles behind his own net. Up the far left wing, he'll go with 14:20 to go in the third. Into the Columbus zone, he takes it. Right wing side, no, Dona shot and a save made by Greaves as he gloved that standing up. Face-off coming up to his left with 14:15 to go with that whistle. So I mentioned on the other end of the blue paint, it was Jet Greaves playing great. Over at this end of the blue paint, it's been Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Alex Lyon playing great, and Colton Ellis playing sensational as well tonight. Among NHL goaltenders with 10 or more games played since December 9th, UPL ranks 3rd in save percentage, and Alex Lyon is tied for 7th in save percentage, and UPL as well, 7th in goals against average in that span. So Buffalo's getting the goaltending, they're getting the defensive structure as well, and they're poised and ready to make a run in the playoffs in their first time back in 15 years. So down to our left, following that face-off in the O-zone for Buffalo. They had to reset in neutral ice, but Quinn gets propelled up ahead into the Columbus zone. Tried to drop it off for McLeod in the slot, but it deflected off him behind the Columbus goal line. And in the far corner, Lundestrom will backhand it up for Fantilli to pull Q ahead. At the logo, it's turned back on Quinn's blade, straight into the Columbus zone. Fought to the right wing side, pulls up to the blue line. Plays it to himself past Marchenko. Left wing circle, pulls up, tried a shot. Save Greaves, it's underneath him, and he'll get the whistle. With 13:28 to go here in the third, we'll step aside. The scores remaining the same. 1-0 Buffalo as the time's dwindling down in this one. Welcome back to Buffalo. No score change in this one. Still 1-0 Sabres as it's been since the first period. No score changes really in the other games out east as well. At least no lead changes. The Islanders added to their lead. It's 5-2 now. The Penguins added to their lead. It's 4-2 over the Devils for them as they're looking to clinch a playoff spot here tonight with a win in any fashion. And then the Red Wings still up 4-2. Over the Philadelphia Flyers, and Ottawa added to their lead. It's 3-0 now over the Panthers. Face off here to the right of Jet Greaves. Ozone draw for the Sabres. 13:28 remain in the period, but Coyle's able to beat Norris on that draw. And around the Columbus net, it's played in the near corner. Provorov hounded here by Benson, trying to move it along. Got it back to Goodbranson, and he'll move it up the far wall. That goes out of play. Is that going to be delay of game? And I think it just might be. After Miles Wood bargained for the last delay of game call, I think this one might go against him. And we'll see if the referees decide to huddle here or not. As with 13:14 to go, we get a look at the replay, and it went out of play. Wood did hit it. That should be a penalty. We haven't seen a signal from the official, but that, in my eyes, is delay a game. They got the last call wrong. This one should be correct, but still not looking at Miles Wood in the penalty box yet, and it does not look like we're going to get a penalty. As we play on here, 5-on-5. Wow, these officials have really dropped the ball here as we're still even strength. And we'll see if puck doesn't lie and the Sabres end up finding the back of the net. But out to center, the puck gets thrown out by Columbus. So Buffalo has to get back in their own zone. I can't believe the referees have missed 2 delay of game calls in this game. What is that? And in Detroit the other day, too, against the Wild. So hold on here. Donut take away on Coyle. He's in. He scores! Josh Doan, what an individual effort, and the Sabres are up 2-0. I wasn't lying. The puck don't lie after another bad delay of game call by the official. This time they didn't call a blatant delay of game penalty. The Sabres get that possession right back as taking it away from Coyle on the back check was Josh Doan as he came right in and neutralized, lifted his stick, and off to the races he went and snapped it from between the hash marks past Jet Greaves, and a Buffalo has doubled their lead. Josh Doan's 5th goal in 6 games against these Blue Jackets. It's also his 24th of the year. And what a play by Shane Doan's kid, Josh. And the Sabres here up 2-0 over the Jackets, making the playoff hopes tougher and tougher for Columbus. So 12.5 remain now in this game as the Sabres get a puck back to center. Here comes Tuck galloping with it into the right wing side of the Columbus zone. He'll play it down to the trapezoid. Possession now taken by Werenski. Played it up the glass. It's out to center. Now Marchment over the logo, over the Buffalo blue line now, but he's whistled for an offsides as he's not happy about that. He slams his stick against the glass in frustration as now the faceoff comes back out to neutral ice. So right on cue, right? I was talking about how it might come back into Buffalo's favor and they'll score after not getting the call in their favor. And that's exactly what happened right when I was discussing it. Josh Doan on the takeaway, able to get his 24th of the year and 5th in 6 games against this Columbus team. So face off here now in neutral ice in front of the penalty boxes. It's the third period's underway, by the way, in Detroit. 90 seconds have played in that one. Still 4-2 in favor of the Red Wings. As the Sabres here in their own zone play it out to neutral ice. Doan on the right side. Got it nicely to Benson. Looking to give it back. Behind him, though, is the pass. And Werenski nudged it out to center. Fantilli will collect. Played it this way. Lundestrom over the Buffalo line. Left wing circle. Taken down into the boards and lost possession. Benson will play it behind the goal. Dahlino located in the far corner. He'll move it up ahead past the benches at center. And a bouncing puck at the Columbus blue line will be a delayed offsides if Buffalo touches it. So Matejchuk grabs it for Columbus and got it at the logo for Werenski. Fed it far wall. Marchenko into the zone. Tried to hit Fantilli backdoor. The puck deflected out to the blue line. Werenski lost it, and now Quinn on the near sides into the Columbus zone. Stripped away, though, nicely by Sillinger. His clearing attempts cut off Zucker. Into the zone. Stanley, his shot didn't make it to the net. Greaves came out to play it to the far wall. As now in that far corner, it's Werenski Playing it this way for Provorov. He'll drop it back off as the Jackets are changing. It's in the trapezoid to our right. Norris Trophy candidate Zach Werenski up the left wing. Provorov goes rink wide for Heinen. Straight into the Buffalo zone. He skates, gliding to the left wing circle. Now behind, put it on top of the paint. Coiled, nudged away by McLeod. Drop past Provorov. One-timer shut down with the left arm by Ellis. Rebound through the slot. Rolls out to center as Fabro resets in the final 10:45 of regulation time. 2-0 Sabres here on home ice. Jackets trying to fight for playoff positioning, trying to get into a spot with a win of any kind if Philadelphia loses in regulation. But it's tough sledding for them right now as Colton Ellis is balling out for the Buffalo Sabres. In the Jackets' own zone, Coyle turned it over behind the net miserably. Malenstein tried to center it, and it came right to Heinen, however, so the Jackets avoid a crisis there and snap it back into Buffalo ice. It goes out of play as it was sticked away by Ellis, and the faceoff will stay in the zone to his left with 10-12 remaining here in period number 3. So this will conclude Buffalo's 13 sets of back-to-backs this year. I mentioned in the open, they're 8-1-3 in the second game of the back-to-back so far this year. They're on their way to 9-1-3, and at the very least, they'd at least get a point, as I don't know if Columbus would win this game in a regulation. So through 13 back-to-back, or 14 back-to-backs this season, it will be only one regulation loss here for the Buffalo Sabres. That's good stuff. And now in the playoffs, you don't even have to worry about back-to-backs for the most part. Shouldn't have one anyways, as you'll be playing every other day. Face off to the left of Ellis, won by the Sabres, as now Power skates it out past the penalty boxes, but it'll be grabbed back by Matejchuk, who steers it ahead for Werenski to snap in. It goes out of play off a arm in the bench, says the official, so we will stop the clock again with 9:58 to go in the third period. That has a step aside again, as I'll be right back with under 10 minutes remaining in the final frame. Final 9:58 of regulation time in Buffalo. Sabres lead it 2-0 on goals by Krebs and Quinn, as the Jackets here desperate for points in this Metropolitan Division playoff race, and I think that's more so what they're looking at the moment, as Ottawa with another win tonight puts them 4 points ahead of Columbus. If Columbus loses this game, if Philly loses in regulation, they'd stay 2 points back with the tiebreaker, but if they find a way to win tonight and Philly loses, Columbus is in a playoff spot. They got to find a way here to break Colton Ellis, who's been fantastic for the Sabres in goal, just his 15th NHL appearance, is off a draw at center. The Jackets are able to get possession, but Werenski played it at the logo for Malenstein to turn right back in, so it'll be Werenski back on it in his own zone. Goes for Marchenko to flip it ahead at center. Bounces at the Buffalo blue line, directed in by Lundestrom. Behind the Sabre net, Dalino twisted up the far wall. Back to center it goes, Werenski on the reset this way for Provorov. Provorov will ring it around the goal to the far wall in the Sabres zone. It bounces to Fantilli, right wing circle. Threw it to the point, left side for Provorov. Looking for a lane. His shot goes off the right pad of Ellis. Rebound to the near corner. Marchenko on his backhand. Through the trapezoid. Played to the point now Lundestrom. Now between the circles is Provorov. Dropping it off Werenski. Long shot. Glove save. Ellis through a screen. As on the doorstep was Fantilli. But a good save there by Ellis. His 30th of the game. So 9:14 to go after that stop. Ozone draw again coming up for Columbus, as we'll see if the Monahan line gets over the boards. They haven't seen too much ice time tonight, but with the ozone draw, Monahan having over 620 face-off wins and over 52% at the dot, might go out there, but it looks like they'll opt with Jenner instead. And Jenner at the dot so far this season's only 51%. And off the tie-up on that draw, Buffalo ends up with it. And Zucker throws it down the ice. A foot race for icing will be waved off. And Quinn did a good job to split the D on in there. As now took it away from Werenski, but his pass between the circles went all the way down the ice. So now Buffalo has to get back in their own zone. And it'll be left for Metza in the near corner by the goaltender Ellis. Goes up the far wall. Stanley shot it out of play. I don't know where that exactly went. But it looks like the faceoff's going to stay inside the Sabres zone here. Faceoff to the left of the goaltender Ellis. So I mentioned next game up for Buffalo. They'll head to Chicago for their final road game of the regular season. That one's Monday. The Blue Jackets will play their final road game of the season this Saturday in Montreal, as Montreal's trying to keep pace with these Buffalo Sabres for the top spot in the Atlantic Division. As a win today for Montreal would get them 2 points back still of Buffalo if Buffalo hangs on to win this game, as now they end up winning a D-zone draw but icing the puck, so it comes right back into their defensive zone again, and Columbus will get another opportunity at an O-zone draw. But again, this Saturday, remember, Golden Knights and Quebec Nordiques. It's not the Colorado Avalanche, though it technically is, but they'll be wearing the Nordiques jerseys this Saturday on home ice. The final time this year they'll do that. Prime time, Saturday night, Golden Knights and Avalanche. Face off here to Ellis's left. Coyle against Norris for the draw. Coyle wins it clean. To the back, it's Provorov. Left side, Werenski. Top of the dot, tried to play it to himself. Tried to kick it past Doan, but it didn't work. And Doan will sling it out to the far wall for power. Gets the red line and chipped it in past the Columbus bench. Goes into the zone now, around to the near corner for Werenski. Down to our right, it's behind the goal, Provorov. Works it out straight ahead. Got the logo, slug it far wall for Sillinger. Tried to chip it into Buffalo ice, but it right to Owen Power. Put it up the far boards, now Benson. Benson tried to feed Kozak straight into the zone, but he got tied up. Puck now behind the Columbus net. Doan will play it back to the far wall. Kozak, a reverse hit on Werenski, knocked him down. Werenski's had a rough night tonight as he can't clear. Dahlin straight away, left side. Now Samuelson's one-timer shut down by the blocker of Greaves. As now Werenski resets again here as his team makes changes. Fed Provorov up, though, on the left wing as he has no problem cutting behind the Buffalo net. Got squeezed out there, though, by Dahlin again, as the Sabres, though, can't clear straight away. Marchenko had a shot deflect to the near corner off a skate down to our left. Samuelson up the boards, gets a little bit of help, and out the center that puck will go. And the Jackets recoil again with under 7.5 remaining in this third period. Down 2-0 to the Buffalo Sabres. 30 shots for the Jackets, 30 saves for Colton Ellis in goal for Buffalo, as Kent Johnson ran out of the play at the Sabre blue line, but the Jackets keep it in as the Sabres can't clear. Johnson left wing circle, tried to feed it to the slot Marchenko, but Tuck did a good job to tie him up and force a free puck, as now it's cleared the other way into Jacket ice. Fabro picks it back up, as now it's launched back to center, but again, just right in possession of the Sabres, as they're doing a good job of not allowing the Jackets to control into their own defensive zone. So here again, with under 7 minutes to go in the third, comes Connor Garland, left wing side, played it to himself off the boards, lost his stick as Stanley knocked it away from him. Up the right wing boards it goes now for Jack Quinn to collect for the Sabres. Played it on the logo Zucker, he kicks to the stick, played it far wall over the Columbus line. Stanley, backdoor, Quinn is shot, he scores! Jack Quinn, what a goal and what a pass from Logan Stanley. 3-0 Buffalo. So Jack Quinn now on the year gets his 20th of the season, and the Sabres had a 4-on-2 the other way. And with that tally, creates a bunch of dejected Blue Jackets on the Columbus bench. As through center, Quinn found Zucker at the logo, played along the left wing boards to Stanley, and the big 6'8 defenseman with a nice pass from the left wing circle to the right wing circle, and that rink-wide feed was elevated by Jack Quinn past the diving Jet Greaves, moving to his left as he snuck it under the bar, and his 20th of the year, as the Sabres up 3-0, and the Jackets here having their playoff hopes dwindle again just a bit. So the Sabres dome Benson and Norris back into Columbus ice following a face-off win, as Norris on the far left wing twists it down low for Benson. As Doan in front, couldn't find him. Now backdoor, does he? Scores! 4-0 Buffalo, as they wanted to find Doan on top of the blue paint, but patience paid off as they found him on the back door. And that makes it 4-0 Buffalo. So Josh Doan's second of the game, 6 goals now in 6 games against the Columbus Blue Jackets. As what a play down low as Norris set up Zach Benson. And Benson, he wanted to hit Norris in the slot, realized he was covered, and then waited just enough to make a beautiful pass through the blue paint back door under the stick of Goodbranson, and Josh Doan buries it, and he has the Sabres up 4-0 now on that one. So 25 goals on the year for Josh Doan, second of the game. And the Sabres are likely to run out of this one with 2 points with 6 minutes remaining and a 4-0 lead over the Blue Jackets. Now Columbus is going to be offside on the left wing as we resumed play, but we'll stop it again with 5:54 remaining in the third. One final commercial break. The Jackets looking dejected on their bench. The Sabres looking to hold on to first place. Back in Buffalo, where the Sabres lead at 4-0 now after a 3-goal third period. And they are on their way to holding that first place spot in the Atlantic Division. As it stands right now, the Montreal Canadiens, last I looked, still 1-0 over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Go and double check right now, though, if that's the case. That is still the case. As well, the Red Wings have added to their lead over the Flyers 5-2. Patrick Kane with his 16th of the year. And that is the Eastern Conference wraparound. Penguins won and clinched a playoff spot. Senators up on the Panthers right now as well, looking to keep pace in their wild card hunt, holding that final spot. They'll be 2 points back of Boston as well for wild card one after that win. So down to the final 5.5 here in Buffalo, as now a stoppage with 5:29 is going to go for an offside. So a neutral zone faceoff coming back up here. As again, these Blue Jackets, their next test will be Saturday in Montreal, and it's not going to be easy for them as they lost a matchup up there a couple of weeks ago at the last Thursday of March. I believe that was March the 26th, or March the 20, yeah, I believe the 26th that game was. There it is, March 26th, Blue Jackets, Canadians, and since then, it's been tough sledding for the Blue Jackets. This has been their worst stretch of the season without a doubt, as they're 2-5-1 over their last 8 games, about to fall to 2-6-1. Easily the worst stretch of hockey they played this year. They're having an opportunity at offense here, though, as through center comes Johnson and Wood. Wood backdoor for Johnston, a save made by Ellis on a delayed penalty, but that gets a rise from the Buffalo crowd as Colton Ellis, standing on his head in the blue paint for the Sabres, has made his 31st save of the game. So a penalty, though, is coming up here on Buffalo, as they're going to pull the goaltender, as well are the Jackets, as they're going to go to the power play. As taking the penalty was Tage Thompson. He got a stick on the hands of Kent Johnson, and now here's an opportunity for Columbus, down 4, to try and muster up something. Crazier things have happened. Jackets to the power play, trying to get on the board. So Fantilli out there for this draw. He's with Marchenko, Werenski, Coyle, and looks like Provorov is the extra attacker. Face off here to Ellis's right. Tuck's tied up with Fantilli. It's played to the near wall and controlled by Marchenko. Goes upstairs now to Werenski. His wrister save. Ellis through traffic. Rebound to the far boards. Provorov up top for Werenski. Left wing circle Marchenko. Across. One-timer. Werenski got the end boards. Back to the near side Marchenko. Down low Coyle. Behind the goal. Here's a stuff attempt by Fantilli. Save Ellis. Rebound to the far corner. Fantilli had to fight off Samuelson. Got it behind the goal. Coyle. Up top now Marchenko. Between the circles straight away Werenski looking over. Goes to the far wall. Gliding there now is Provorov. His shot off the end boards. Cleared to the far wall. Not out. Provorov back on it. Got it to Marchment. His pass deflected off the stick of Greenway back to center. As now the Jackets have to reset. 4.5 to go in the third. 75 to go on their power play. Down 4 goals. In the near corner Marchenko tried to center it for Fantilli. It deflected left wing dot Marchment. Up between the circles, here's Werenski. He had a shot that missed the net, goes behind to the trapezoid. Metz is tied up here with Coyle, and the Jackets get it back. Marchment to the point. Here's Marchenko. Long wrist shot got blocked by Malenstein to the far wall. He battles for it now along the boards. Power ends up with the puck as now it goes off the skate of Provorov and back to the corner. Coyle let it go for Marchenko in the trapezoid. Under 4 minutes to go in the third. Here's Werenski. One-timer off the end boards. Back in the trapezoid. Fantilli put it on top of the paint. Coyle kicked at it, but it's saved by Ellis as he'll squeeze that one and hold with 3:45 left in this one and 33 seconds remaining here on this Jacket power play. So the Columbus power play already 0 for 2 tonight. 33 seconds away from becoming 0 for 3 in this one, as they're just trying to find the back of the net once here tonight. And it looks like Rick Bowness is going to use his timeout. So we got the triple decker on the score bug: timeout, empty net, and power play. As now the Columbus staff will talk things over on the bench, as it'll be Rick Bowness and company going to the whiteboard, as the Jackets here trying to do anything to salvage a point in this game. They need 4 goals in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. We'll see if miracles could happen here for this CBJ team. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit subscribe and turn the bell notifications on. Hit the like button as well on the stream. I'll be back with you with a special guest on Saturday night. Golden Knights Avalanche primetime game on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel, as the Colorado Avalanche are looking to clinch the President's Trophy here tonight. If the Hurricanes do beat the Blackhawks, though, they won't be able to do that quite yet. But if they defeat the Flames in any fashion, they will be able to. That game's scoreless right now, and the way things are trending with the Avalanche, they win one, lose one, so nothing's guaranteed against the Flames in that contest this evening. So timeout has expired. Back to the faceoff dot we go, to the left of Ellis with 3:45 left in the third. Columbus empty net and 33 seconds left of power play time. They win the draw right in Werenski. Near circle one-timer. Marchenko got blocked off the skate of Malenstein to the near boards. He pivots with it, does Marchenko. Played it in front through the legs of Ellis. It goes. Marchenko stabs at it. Will it go in? It won't, as it looks like Ellis is on it. And the whistle goes with 3:33 to go in the third. 21 seconds left on the Columbus power play as Colton Ellis fell backwards. Looked like there was room to poke it through the 5-hole. But on the doorstep, Marchenko and Marchment were there and unable to get it. Or Garland, I should say, 83, not 86. But neither guy able to get it through Colton Ellis as that puck went underneath his left leg and stayed there. And Josh Norris as well climbed on top of the pads of Colton Ellis to ensure that that puck didn't squeeze through somehow. So face off here too. The Sabre goaltenders right. 3:33 left in the game. 21 on the power play for Columbus. They win the draw. Marchenko button hooks left wing circle. Tried a shot. Save made. Rebound through the slot. Without a stick is Coyle. He can't keep it in, so it rolls out. And Werenski has to reset. Played it into the zone. Fantilli on the left wing. Marchment got stick checked by McLeod. Stayed with it. Drove to the net. Across it goes. Montana shot. Shut down. Ellis with a sensational diving stop to his left. As this Sabres crowd is loving it. As he stopped his 37th consecutive shot here from Columbus. Gets a hug from Alex Tuck. As this Sabre crowd, some fans in the lower bowl coming to their feet in applause for Colton Ellis, who now shut down Sean Monahan. There was room again on the 5-hole, but Monahan elevated that shot and it hit Ellis right in the stomach. So face off again in the O-zone for Columbus. It's to the left of Colton Ellis this time. 2 seconds left on the power play, so we'll go ahead and take that off the score bug, as that basically is irrelevant, as it'll be 6-on-5 is coming out of the box here in a moment. Will be the Buffalo skater is off the draw. It goes right on net to Ellis. He'll take the whistle, and that's smart as it'll go right back to even strength. So it'll be 5-on-5 for this upcoming faceoff with now just 3:11 to go in the third. Colton Ellis here, 35 saves on this Columbus team. So Coyle here for this draw with a fresh new cue. Goes up against Tyson Kozak. Face off to the left here of Ellis. Again, extra attacker on for the Jackets. Down 4, looking for a miracle. Philadelphia down 6-2 though, so that is the good news. But the bad news is the Islanders have won, so they've leapfrogged them as well. As now the Jackets here are going to look at a puck going down the empty net. They score! As it's going to be a 200-foot goal for the Buffalo Sabres, as it was shot all the way down the ice from the far corner. And it's 5-0 on that empty net marker as Rasmus Dahlin hit a slam dunk from way out. So on the year now for Dahlin with that empty netter, he's up to 19 goals on the year. He's one away from a 20-goal campaign, and the Sabres here make it 5-0. And the Columbus Blue Jackets here are now trailing both the Islanders, Red Wings, and Philadelphia Flyers in the standings, and the Ottawa Senators, as they've already were holding on to a spot. So it's tough here for this Columbus team, as there's now 3 to 4 teams they have to leapfrog. 4 if they want the wild card. Well, 3 if they want the wild card, 2 if they want that third spot in the Metropolitan Division, as this was a tough loss for them. They put 35 shots on net, and Colton Ellis was an absolute dog in goal for the Buffalo Sabres, as he has stopped everything thrown his way, as there's now just 2:23 left in this game, as now the Sabres here shoot it back into Columbus ice, as they're again going to keep leading this Atlantic Division with 106 points. If Montreal hangs on, they'll be right behind them with 104. If Tampa ends up winning, it'll be Tampa right behind them at 104 points. So if you're a Sabre fan, keep an eye on the end of that game, as they're about halfway through the third period at the Bell Center. Last I checked, the Canadians were up 1-0. Jackets back into the Sabre zone, but off sides they go, as things are just not clicking at all for this Columbus team. This is one of those where if you're a Jacket fan, you're watching along and you are frustrated and you're not even like mad at your team for playing bad. The team played good. I mean, it's just 3 in a cluster by the Sabres here in this third period. And after that third one went in, led to the fourth one. And when it was 3-0, you could see on the Columbus bench that they kind of knew it was wraps. And then Buffalo on the ensuing shift, not even a minute later, made it 4-0. And it's going to be an uphill battle here for the Blue Jackets, who were once the hottest team in hockey until they got put on a screeching halt 2 weeks ago. And it's been a rough run for them in the Metropolitan Division race in this Eastern Conference race, as an offsides whistle here on Buffalo causes another stoppage with 1:46 to go in this third period. Again, on Saturday, I'll be with you, Golden Knights and Avalanche, with you at 8 p.m. Eastern for that one. Penguins Capitals on Sunday, 3 Eastern. It's a matinee, potentially the final Crosby-Ovechkin meeting. And then keep an eye out for the upcoming events on this YouTube page for the end of season hockey games before the playoffs begin. Going to try to do games for you all on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in the final week of the regular season. Wednesday might be tough, though. Don't know if I'm going to be able to bring one for you then, but Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for sure. Then I'll be with you for the opening games on Saturday and Sunday as we begin the greatest tournament in sports, the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Buffalo Sabres will be a part of that tournament for the first time in 15 years. The Blue Jackets trying to get back to the tournament for the first time since 2020 when they made it and beat Toronto in the qualifying round in the bubble, and they advanced in the 2019 playoffs, beating that awesome Tampa Bay Lightning team. As now, hold up here, Doan's trying to fight it. He wants a hat trick, but the Blue Jackets played tough defense on him as Doan, his eyes lit up. He started screaming through neutral ice for a loose puck, but he ended up coming up empty-handed. He heads to the bench now to change, and we're down to the final 40 seconds here tonight in Buffalo. As now, the Jackets with one last gasp trying to get something on net. Wood put it towards Ellis, but it went off the side of the net. The Sabre fans here rise to their feet inside KeyBank Center with applause at hand as they're up 5-0 over the Jackets. They have a 2-point lead in the Atlantic Division for first place as this house is rocking as the Stanley Cup playoffs are now just a week away in this building. Time has run out here in Buffalo. They've won it 5-0 over the Columbus Blue Jackets. The first career shutout for Colton Ellis as he stops all 35 shots that the Blue Jackets thrown at him. Congratulations to the kid Colton Ellis. First career NHL shutout. So Buffalo in this one. What an interesting game, right? 10 shots in the first period. They go up 1-0 thanks to Peyton Krebs' 12th of the year, assisted by Josh Norris. That's Norris's 20th assist on the season. And then nothing in the second period. They were limited to just 4 shots on net. The Blue Jackets put 14 on net towards Colton Ellis. He stopped all of them, stopping 24 shots through the first 2 periods and another 11 in period 3. And in that third period, Josh Doan, 24th of the year, unassisted on a beautiful takeaway against Charlie Coyle. And then Jack Quinn's 20th of the year from a Logan Stanley and a Jason Zucker on a 4-on-2 rush. And then Josh Doan got his second of the game just a minute after, not even a minute after that. It was 25 seconds looking at the scoring that Benson down low was able to hit Doan on the back door. Norris, a second assist on the game there, up to 21 for him. And then Dahlin is 19th of the year on an empty netter. Stanley gets his second assist for a 2-point game. Tyson Kozak as well gets an apple, as the Sabres end up 5-0 winners here over the Blue Jackets and are in first place still in the Atlantic Division. Scoreboard update out in Montreal. 3:17 remain in that game. And right now, 1-0 Montreal is still the score as they're looking to stay just 2 points back of the Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres now up to 106 points in the standings, and whoever wins Tampa Montreal will be at 104, 2 points back. And we'll see who ends up Atlantic Division champions. We'll see who ends up in the final 2 playoff spots in the East as well, as Philly will stay idle at 92 points tonight. Ottawa improves to 94. Islanders leapfrog Columbus as they are up to 91 on the year. The Red Wings do the same. They're up to 91 as well. And the Capitals, they're still in it. They're up to 89 points. They had a win yesterday in Toronto. So we'll see what happens here in the Eastern Conference race. Anything could happen. You might think you have one thing certainly that's going to happen, but I've learned too many times in this league, upsets happen, randomness happens. Who knows who's going to get into the Stanley Cup playoffs? So thank you all for joining me here on this edition of Thursday Night Hockey on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. If you'd like, go check out the Ice Guys YouTube channel. They're doing a live bet cast right now through the end of the night. Might join those guys. We'll join those guys here in a little bit. So if you want to do that, YouTube, just the Ice Guys in the search bar, and you will find them. Next time you'll hear from me on this channel, again, Saturday night, Golden Knights and Avalanche in prime time. I'll have a special guest with me for that one, so stay tuned for that. And again, the final tonight, Buffalo 5, Columbus nothing. Name is Jaric Rubel. Don't you forget it. I'll talk to you Saturday from Colorado. Again, thank you for tuning into this watch-along on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. Buffalo 5-0 winners over the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight.